I believe that we are in this particular slide, or in this slide, why we require this distributed system. So, as we were discussing, so the nature of the application is one of the driving force, performance is another major driving force, like why some of the applications, some of the requirements are computing intensive, or some of the things can be data intensive. So, this requires distributed computing. So, another aspect is the robustness, right, like as we are discussing, that there should not be any single point of failure. My application does not want any single point of failure. That means, always it should be on, even at a low performance rate I cannot say it should be a failure. In case of a centralized systems, if the system fails, everything drops down, but in this case we still work on the things. Other nodes can execute the same task executed on the failed node. So, that means, I evolve as a system that if it is a failed, the task which is working on the failed node can be executed or shared the load by the other nodes. So, this type of technology algorithms are possible to develop or are being used in case of a distributed systems. So, there are several distributed applications. So, application that consist of set of processes that are distributed across network of machines and work together as an ensemble to solve a common problem. In other sense, I have several applications which coordinate among themselves to address a particular problem. So, this is as if it is a group of people working to address a particular problem. This is primarily useful for a large scale application development or large scale operational need, right, where you have different operation being served by different, and we realize a particular overall job at the end, right. So, there are not only computing aspects, there are several other aspects into the things, as those who have worked or those who are read other things. There is a need of orchestration of these processes, orchestration of these services, like who will do, etc. So, we have to form there. So, there are different aspects, but that is one of the major application of this type of distributed computing. And not only in the past, now also it is mostly several application are clients server type of things, resource management centralized at the server. So, we want to make it in a distributed fashion. There are peer to peer computing, which represents a movement towards truly distributed applications, right. So, there are other type of motivating forces or motivations towards the distributed system. So, this is typically clients invoke individual servers, we are used to that, like client invoke a particular server. So, invocation and results, the server can as a client for another server, right, and can be there. So, I can say that all those things works in a individually maybe client server mode, but they are basically trying to realize a overall particular job. So, I can have a typical distributed application based on PR processes. So, there are different PRs, there are different applications which are running in the PRs, and it can so happen that these applications talk to each other to realize a particular job, right. So, there are applications based on these PR processes. So, these are different types